For one thing, some people would argue that this is not a song at all. It's true. Other people would argue that it is not in good taste to sing this song at this particular moment in history. That may be the reason why we decided to do so. I'm not going to comment on that. But it is it's particularly a good moment in history to sing this, because although the person whose name is mentioned several times in the song has actually recently died, the song is not about that person. The song is not about that person at all. It's not disrespectful to that person, because that person doesn't even appear in the song. It's not that person who's in the song, it's that person's God who is in the song, you see. This will make sense in a second. Jerry Falwell's God was standing by the elevator while we were all talking about the party, so of course we had to invite him. Now secretly, of course, we were all hoping that he wouldn't come, because he's vengeful and overbearing and jealous, and he tends to smite people. And of course, he knew we were thinking that. So it made him all the more determined to show up and punish us. Now I wanted to invite my God, but I couldn't find him. But Jerry Falwell's God, though, is everywhere. And he's hard to miss, you know, the gold leaf halo and the gossamer robe and the beard down to here and the button that says, "What would Jesus do?" And so sure enough, day of the party, there he was at the door, and he spoke. Spaketh he, saying, "I am come." And I knew there was a joke there. But Jerry Falwell's God will not be mocked. Jerry Falwell's God. Jerry Falwell's God. Now, I'm no heavenly host, but I throw a decent party, and there were people of all kinds there. Black, white, Swedish, Norwegian, the whole human spectrum. And right away, Jerry Falwell's God corners the two people who listen to him at the punch bowl and begins speaking in a voice so loud it makes the Beastie Boys sound like the Vienna Boys Choir. And he made the lame to walk. And, you know, these are my friends, so they were still lame, but they can walk. And he turned the loaves to fishes and the Oreos to Hydrox, and he divided up the room, divided he, speaking, gays here, lesbians here, pagans here, abortionists, feminists, civil libertarians, people for the American way, and finally, you know, some of us just did not know where to stand. I went with the lesbians. Jerry Falwell's God. Jerry Falwell's God. And he pointed his huge finger at each group in turn, and he said, "I blame you, and you, and you, who have secularized society and cast me out of the town square." And I thought, man, you are the town square. He said, "Lo, I have lifted the veil of protection, for the end days are here, and the judgment is nigh, where I will draw the faithful unto heaven, and will leave the unrepentant to walk a desolate earth." And I thought, more polyester for the rest of us. And he spat fire, and he rained toads, and he brought forth 7 bowls of 7 plagues, and finally I just said, look, I'll tell you one thing Jesus would not do. Jesus would not wreck a guy's party. And Jesus would not preach hate. And Jesus would not stand there in the rubble saying, I told you so. And Jesus would not use an international catastrophe to score points for some narrow, misogynistic, homophobic, anti-Semitic interpretation of his life and teaching. And if people are jealous and judgmental and vengeful and violent, maybe that's because you made them in your image. And if people have cast you out of the town square, maybe that's because you are a finger-pointing, moralizing, rageaholic stone drag who gives deities in general a bad name. And if people have turned away from your word, maybe that's because you have spinach in your teeth. And he smote me. Ow. Jerry Falwell's God. Jerry Falwell's God.
Thank you. Roy Zimmerman wrote that one. He's all over YouTube.
Roy Zimmerman's last name is .com, by the way. And it's interesting, on YouTube, you know, people can post comments to the videos. Someone posted a comment, well, actually, several people have posted comments that are responses to that song. And my favorite comment, though, on YouTube is the one which says, it's this really kind of fierce troll, actually, in the internet world. And she says, dude, man, Jesus totally would wreck your party. So, it's a matter of religious interpretation. I mean, these things are complicated.